pass on all of those, but I've got to list them up. They're coming, that's the next verse. The next verse is literally titled Sham Adi Sadhana Sampatti Ka. That's the next verse. It's going to talk about it. So perhaps pending discovery, maybe I have a few of these, maybe I don't have a few of these. But right now it's not looking very good for me. I said Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikarinam. I am not feeling very adhikari right now. I'm feeling that. So should I close this book? There, but verse 2, I've not even gotten into the topic. I'm saying, all right, this is not looking good for me. I should perhaps give up right now while I'm ahead. But then there is the fourth one. The fourth one. So, you have those exams in which you have to get one answer right, and then the rest doesn't matter. It covers for all the others. So that's the fourth one, and that is mumukshutvam. What is mumukshutvam? Mumukshutvam is a desire, a burning desire. The way my teacher said, it was like your head is on fire. That kind of desire for moksha. So that steps in and replaces for, sort of counts in for the remaining three. And it becomes mumukshutvam. Takes over. So if you have an ardent desire for freedom. But do you? I've been in your seat. And I'm not quite sure I was ready for freedom. I hadn't done a lot of dharma. I certainly had no dharma. I was far away from where I was sitting. So for you to say that, oh, no, you have no idea for economic. Oh, come on, man, I have $0 here. Right? So is it true that I'm going to let go and I'm going to have an ardent desire for freedom from artha, kama, and dharma? Yes, in some cases, yes, I do have a desire, but if you're honest with yourself, you're not quite at the point where you're ready to say that I want freedom from any of this. You don't want freedom of any of these. In fact, you do want to practice your dharma. As much as you can, you want to practice your dharma. As much as you can, you want to secure the future for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your community. And as much as you want, every moment of your life is driven by desire. So I don't have a desire for freedom. Why are you saying I don't have mumukshutvam too? So I'm going to replace this word for now. Most of the people that I come across, a desire for freedom comes a lot later. Knowledge of reality, tattva, that's the one that drives. So we're not looking to become free from dharma, we're not looking to become free from artha and kama, but what we are truly looking for is a knowledge of what is real. Why? Because if I know what is real, I will be erasing some of my self-doubt. I want the freedom to make the correct choice. That's really what I want. Freedom to make the right choice. I don't quite know what the right choice is, but I know that I right now don't know exactly what is real and what is unreal. So I want the freedom, that emotional freedom to make the right choice intellectually and follow through on it. That is emotion. So I want to know what is real so that I can have the freedom to make the right choice. So that fourth one, yes, that one has brought you here, no doubt. You were not looking for freedom, I know that. No, very few people are. You can get to a point in your life when you start really looking for freedom, but it would rarely happen when you're in your 20s, let alone in your 30s. But mumukshutvam stands in for more than just freedom, it stands in for a knowledge of reality. Okay, so looks like sadhana chatushtaya kim, nitya nitya vastu viveka. We should talk about that again, right? We left that one hanging absolutely. What is nitya nitya vastu viveka? I guess we realize that there is everything is anitya. So, what about space? Anitya. Is it timeless? Space-time is a continuum, we know that now. In physics, we understand, according to the theory of relativity, that space-time is a continuum and they are not two different things, but they're the same thing, appears like two different things. So space is also perhaps anitya, subject to destruction. So what does that mean? In fact, what is nitya is what is real. And what is anitya is what is unreal. You say, no, wait a minute, how did that happen? I can experience all anitya vastus. They are right there. How are you telling me that it's not real? Well, we'll wait for the discovery of this. But in this context, what the author is saying is that that which is nitya is that which is real, and that really is the topic of TatvaBodha. So what is tattva is the same as what is nitya, is the same as which is real, and the focus of our work. So we have many different words for the same thing, that which we refer to as tattva, that which we refer to as nitya, that which we refer to as akshaya, one that is not subject to decay. In fact, most of your names are, if I start looking at them, they will all point to the same thing, nitya. Vasudeva is nitya. If I start opening them all, they'll all be, Amit is nitya. It's all of the names, we've all been named after something. Perhaps there's something to be discovered here. Something that we've missed. So the question is it something that is totally unknown? Have I never, ever, in all the experiences that I've had, have I ever come across that which is nitya? If you answer yes, then I'm going to ask you how. And what was it? Because you categorized the whole universe in nitya. So what was it? That was nitya. What was it that was timeless? Love is a tough one. I'm going to have to leave that one aside for now. We'll come back to it. Is it nitya?
My experiences are real.
Your experiences are very real for you. That's very interesting. Are your experiences constantly changing? I mean, you're experiencing this classroom right now. When you go outside, you'll experience the outside world. You'll experience cold out there. Don't go there without your jacket. Here you will experience nice and warm weather. Outside you'll be cold. Your experiences are changing all the time. Are they nitya? They're not. So what is nitya? That becomes the question. So the topic here is, what is change? So we started talking about it a little bit. We touched upon the fact that which is subject to change is anitya. What does change really mean? Change really means that you are the experience is continuously changing. Is the observer continuously changing? That's the question that we're asking. What does it mean? Who is the observer? Who is the observer? Who is the observer? And the answer will be, well, I am the observer. What's the big deal? I am the observer. I am the one who observes everything. True, I agree with you. Is your I the observer? Not quite. But I observe with the I. So you're not the I. Okay. Is your mind the observer? Sure. The observation, the experience appears in my mind. And then my mind changes and the experience changes. Is the mind the observer? No, I am the observer. Your intelligence, the one that is being able to see this drishya and be able to say, this part is space, this part is time, this is change that is occurring. You are perceiving change. As my voice is hitting your ears, you are perceiving every sound differently. And the sounds that are appearing in your ear are changing constantly. Is your ear the listener? No. Is your mind the listener? The words are appearing in your mind. What if I spoke in a language that you did not understand? The So sounds would be there, meanings wouldn't be there. The meanings are coming from your intelligence. As soon as the word is appearing, the intelligence is already there. Right? So if I were to put another word up here, Sanskrit word that you don't know, and I were to repeat it, it would be just sound. There would be no meaning. True. So is your intelligence the observer? Not quite. I am the observer. So what is this I that we're talking about? We seem to have eliminated the I. We seem to have eliminated the mind. We seem to have eliminated the intelligence. So who is the observer? That observer is the subject matter of TatvaBodha. That observer is the only one that is nitya. Of course, pending discovery. So the rest of the verses will take you apart. So what's going to happen in the next few verses of this TatvaBodha is that the object that we are going to scrutinize is going to be you. And your indriyas, your manas, your buddhi, your chitta, your ahankara, they will all be analyzed and taken apart. Because until we keep analyzing them, we won't get to the one that is nitya. So although this is sadhana chatushtaya, how can nitya vastu viveka be the preparation when that is the final goal? The answer there being that as you study TatvaBodha, the first time you may not get it, the second time you may not get it, but there is a nishtha to the discovery of nitya vastu viveka, and that's why it's listed up here. Of all these four, the one that's most important is mumukshutvam, which is a desire to know. And this Sham Adi Ashtaka Sampatti is the next topic. We'll do that next time. So it continues and asks Sham Adi Sadhana Sampatti Ka. And the answers are Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. And so the student doesn't stop. The student asks Shama Kaha. What is Shama? So the answer comes Mano Nigraha. Asks Damaha Kaha. Chakshur Adi Bahendriya Nigraha. So it continues and continues to define all of them. So this is going to be a very detailed study. Sadhana has broken out into 4. Out of this 4, Shama is going to break out into 8. And then many other things will be similarly categorized and presented. So far we've gotten through 3 verses. We're at the beginning of TatvaBodha. We're not quite there yet. So he's going to establish all the Sham Adi Ashtaka Sampatti. And then what will happen is that Etat sadhana chatushtayam tatah tattva vivekasya adhikarim bhavanti. And the author will say that once you have started working towards these 8, you will become an adhikari. And the next question is direct. The student asks, Tattva viveka ka? What is tattva viveka? And the answer to that, we'll see when we get there, is Atma Satyam Tad Anyat Sarva Mithyam Iti. And the next question after that, the student doesn't stop. This is an awesome student who's asking Atma Ka. So he gets right to the point. What exactly is Atma? And then Shankaracharya will go ahead and explain. He will say Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiritita, and he will explain them all. And then of course he'll follow up with, what is that? And what is that? And what is that? So this is a classic book of Vedantic terms and definitions. It contains the answer to just about everything that we need to look at in TatvaBodha. It's a long, it will take us a few weeks to get to the point where we're talking about Panchakoshatita, and we'll talk about Atma as well. But all of that is pending discovery. We can continue with this study the next time. I'll stop now. And if you have any questions or comments, we can talk about that. If you have any questions or comments? Yeah?
So the way to get to the Nitya, are there any ways like...
The Prakara is TatvaBodha. So that's what we are at. We are right at the correct location to understand what is Nitya, what is this Vastu. It's called Nitya Vastu. What is Brahman, what is Atma is the subject matter, and that is TatvaBodha. And that's why he says Tattva Viveka Prakaram Moksha Sadhana Bhutam Vakshayama. He's going to talk about it. But then he throws that qualification up there which is quite a stumbling block because you read it and you say, wait a minute. He said that I should already know what I need to know, but you don't worry about it. This is all that you need for the rest of the stuff that will develop as you study and continue. Okay? All right, we'll continue with this. So I decided to write on the board this time. Let me know if that works for you or it doesn't work for you. For me, this works really well. I understand word by word. Yeah.
With respect to the first line,
Yeah.
For Nitya, is it similar to the physics laws that we were talking about?
Very interesting. It's very interesting. Awesome. So
laws of gravitation.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the question, I'm going to repeat your question, aren't the laws of the universe nitya? Because they are applicable everywhere, they are applicable through time, and so on. It's a very interesting question. We'll talk about it. The laws of the universe, we already said the universe is anitya. So the laws of the universe are also truly anitya to a certain extent. But I want to pull on that thread a little bit. Tell me any law that you know, express it in words. Just a mathematical equation, the law of gravitation. We know that when you have two masses, m1 and m2, they're attracted to each other with m1, m2 over r squared multiplied by gravitational constant. I had to say so many words to express that. Every single word was loaded with intelligence. Okay? M1 is intelligent. The word m1 and the word m2 divided by r squared. I had to mathematically express it all. The law of the universe can only be expressed in terms of intelligence. It cannot be experienced, it cannot be expressed without intelligence.
And that is similar to what we are reading here, right? To understand TatvaBodha, we are reading through the definitions and methodology. So that is exactly similar to laws of gravitation. So where we need to explain
Correct.
the definitions of each, and then so that is
true. But what I'm trying to tell you is that all laws of the universe require intelligence for them to be stated. What we are talking about is beyond intelligence. Because intelligence itself is in the experience. My words that were appearing in your mind without meaning, when I use a language that you don't speak, you will hear sound, you will see sound, but you will see no meaning. But when I speak in your language, the word will appear with the meaning. Automatically grasped by your mind, but still in the realm of experience. Even intelligence, Vijnanamaya Kosha, that TatvaBodha will talk about, will fall within the realm of experience. And the one who observes it is the one we're talking about. Because even that is anitya, because it requires the observer to be present for that intelligence to be grasped. So what we're going to talk about is the gross universe, the subtle universe, the mental universe, the intelligent universe, the seed universe. Intelligence itself, before it takes form, is unexpressed. So if you think about it, what I'm saying is that inside the seed of the tree is there. But inside the seed of the tree is only intelligence. There's only DNA, there's only chromosomes, there's nothing tangible that you can hold onto your hand, but it is programmed in there. It is already programmed for that seed to become that particular plant. Even that is intelligence, and it will fall into the realm of experience. So who is the observer of this change? What are the attributes of this observer? When we start looking at the observer more closely, that observer will be out. And that observer will have no attributes. All the attributes will belong in the world of experiences. And that's the one. So when I asked you, do you know a nitya vastu? Have you ever met one? The correct answer to that is yes. But you have missed it. It was there and it was missed. It was always standing in the room and you continuously kept missing it. So the TatvaBodha is not going to show you something that you don't know. It is not unknown. It's actually very well known. It is in fact something that you know so well that when pointed out to you through the prakara of TatvaBodha, you're going to say, oh, that is the one that I needed to know.
like the follow-up question to that is like, okay, by knowing these things, so in the previous class you said something about like we breaking down, we break down the things like with respect to like the table example that you gave.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we break down the things and then like go back to like the square one, so then try to understand. Okay, so this is what like exactly what we mean by like say like this is the table. Okay. So like in that experience that we will go through for several weeks, how will that benefit like us?
Yes. What is the benefit of moksha sadhana? What is the benefit? What you're looking for, we established that at the beginning, was having the ability to choose without self-doubt. To understand the reality of the universe will give you the freedom to act. The freedom to act with clarity of choice. There will be no illusion left for you. The doubt
We will have to use the intelligence again to make the decision. So will this be something that I can see from a different dimension apart from the intelligence? Try to get like a different perspective to the same problem, or I'm understanding.
You know, I understand your question. This is what we're talking about. So, is TatvaBodha going to talk about a concept that I can arrive at from another derivation? And the answer to that question is no. TatvaBodha is not going to talk about a concept. In fact, it is going to take all the concepts and show you that they all lie in the realm of experiences. There is no other concept that can be used. TatvaBodha is not going to talk about any concept or idea. It's actually going to talk about reality. To put a slightly different answer to your question, the advantages, the benefits of understanding yourself is having that clarity of being able to choose your action going forward. But you won't have to do the analysis every time you act. Because once you've seen it, once it has been pointed out to you, it will be hard for you to miss. Because once I've introduced you to Atma, it will be very hard to miss. It will be everywhere. And perhaps it will be the only thing that you will see in all directions. So it's not like you have to go through the practice. Every time you're faced with a situation, you won't have to go back to the basics and rederive everything. It won't be like that. Because what's happening is that even now, even at this instant in time, you are very clear on what Atma is. I just need to point it out to you. And once that is pointed out, you will never have to have that confusion or apply a different concept to arrive at the same thing. The story in Vedanta that is given is the story of the 10th boy. Are you familiar with the story of the 10th boy? There were 10 boys who went to a picnic, and they had a great time, they had great food, and at the evening when they were ready to come back, the leader started counting them, and he would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And he would say, there's a boy missing. So they would get very worried that there's a boy missing. We need to find this boy. Where is this boy? He's lost in this picnic. And all 9 of them would stand and say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's a boy missing. And they would continue to say, where is that missing boy? And they would keep looking for them. Until the story, it's a Vedantic story, so Swami comes along and says, you know what, why don't you all 10 stand together? Now count your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.